Hill figure, nigga. This is the Star Report, Friday evening, and I'm in the building. I'm your host, Mr. Torrain, repping Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Okay. Hey, I don't usually do shows on Friday. I kind of shifted gears and kind of like, I like to power down, then wake up on Saturdays and, run a bunch of errands like we all do on Saturdays. But I want to address two topics this evening. I want to go back into Damon Dash. New interview, my top story actually this evening. Now he's coming at Jay-Z, and this is what I was waiting to see. Please pay attention. Damon Dash, new interview, The Art of Dialogue, great channel. And they asked him, who's the greatest artist to represent Roc-A-Fella Records? Now, regardless if you fuck with Dame or not, because so many people say that corny line, yo, I fucks with Dame, Dame says the greatest artist to represent Roc-A-Fella Records is Kanye West. Kanye West. Now, is he being objective? Is he in his feelings? We're all accusing him of being in his feelings, and some people think, well, he's got a right to be. Okay. Not that I have such great insight, even though I was there on the radio back in New York City in those days, and I was intertwined with all of them, Leor Cohen, Kevin Liles, and a host of others, Mike Kaiser, Dame has now said with a straight face, even though he's sitting there with sunglasses and I guess he's smoking a blunt. He's a weed smoker, a weed connoisseur, let me say that. And he says Kanye West over Jay-Z. Now, does he have a good point? That's my question to you. Musically, I would go with Kanye West. In terms of a rapper, I would go with Jay-Z. But the question was, who's the greatest music artist to represent Roc-A-Fella Records? Now, on top of that, was that what Jay-Z noticed once upon a time? Was Dame Dash trying to be the new Barry Gordy? Motown. Motown was a goddamn factory. The Jackson 5, none of those artists back in the early days of Motown got any money from writing music. Do you know this? Troll Babies, good evening. How you guys doing? It was a corporation that wrote all of the songs. A, B, C, easy as 1, 2, 3, and a host of other songs. Barry Gordy was, the mastermind. Was that what Dame was trying to do by bringing in all the other people that we've already spoken about over the years? Did Jay, selfish Brooklyn nigga, let's keep it real, did he say, hey man, it's time for me to get up out of here, to himself? And for those of you who know the true details of this story, there was a point when Jay-Z moved his office to a different floor. He got away from Dame and the others. Yes, no, you guys up to speed? This is my top story tonight. I don't want to talk about the mammy shooting up the warehouse out here in Madonna. Well, down in Madonna. I'm up in Woodstock. She didn't catch no bodies. Another black shooter with no aim or just, scared to pop people in the melon. Pow, pow, pow. It's like the goddamn shooter up in Brooklyn a couple of months ago. So I don't want to talk about that. Okay, so that's my main story. Does Dame Dash have a point? Is Kanye West the greatest artist? And why did Jay-Z take Kanye along with him? Why did he pull him away from Dame? Kanye even said, I forget when it was, some interview, he felt bad for leaving Dame. Dame put him on, not Jay-Z. Yes, no, Troll Babies? Shaw Rocks, I got your donation. Thank you, darling, for tapping in. Okay. Did Jay-Z really do him dirty? Well, I've already said. Was it yesterday's show? He's a Brooklyn nigga. did him dirty, but did he pull the rug from up under his feet? Take Kanye, and then they turned around and did niggas in Paris. Ah! And is this the reason why Dame is salty? He was trying to do Jay dirty at first. Jay was too smart, right? That's my main topic. Now, coming up, I have two showrunners. Let me lay the first one out right now. Let me say salute to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Folks, if you're new to the show, I always give credit where credit is due, and I like to acknowledge other content creators. O'Shea Duke Jackson, he's one of your leading social engineers, as far as I'm concerned. And one of his, who is LAR Movement, okay? Let's give him a lot of credit as well, because I watched O'Shea Duke Jackson's video. Young black men are wearing bonnets to school, and their mamas think it's okay. Great video. Now, I'm just going to try and add on to what he said, because I think he gave a great breakdown, but we want to make sure that we acknowledge LAR Movement, because O'Shea Duke Jackson played a piece of his video. I think this is on is it on his Facebook page? Bonnets, Black Boys, and Manhood, okay? Again, LAR Movement. Salute to you, sir. Great content. Now, myself, like O'Shea Duke Jackson, I don't have any biological kids. So I don't necessarily see what, young, I like to say melanated, but I'm going to use the word black just because it fits in the showrunner better. I don't know what young black males are wearing in middle school or high school. And O'Shea Duke Jackson, he gave some great references. Back in the 80s, you had black males wearing those jerry curl caps, but they mainly wore them in preparation to go out. Now, I can go back even further. Back in the 70s, you had the pimps wearing the goddamn curlers and the long curls, bell-bottom pants, marshmallow shoes, platforms, man purses, all that shit started in the 70s. So I can't necessarily, clown young black males if they're wearing bonnets, but I need for you, those of you who are, fathers, maybe grandfathers, is this a bad thing? Are black males wearing bonnets to school? Now, I would imagine this is primarily in the South. The South glorifies the ignorant, so let's keep it real. The South is dominating the rap genre, and they have been for years. So a lot of the slang, a lot of the fashion comes out of the South. Is this up north yet? Troll babies, good evening. Are niggas wearing bonnets up north in middle school and high school? Z-snap. Is this a bad thing? Hang on, somebody said bonnets and fishnets. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, coming up a little bit later, there's a video that I want to, I didn't get a chance to post it in my community section. What is the showrunner for later on? Later on, not right now. What type of ring does she deserve? Engagement ring, okay? But I'll come to that later. All right, guys, good evening. Sit tight on the phones. I just want to lay some other things out here with regards to tonight's show. I'm in a great place. Blackfire23 got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. I want to promote some of my sponsors as well, and if anybody wants to call in and do some promoting, tonight's the night. I'm sipping coffee. I got some cran grape ocean spray. No alcohol tonight, because I got to handle some business tomorrow, and I need to have energy. I don't want to wake up, dragging. I don't want to have to take an extra shot of Pharmacist. Speaking of Pharmacist, 300, 250, another sustenance on. Let me say to some of you guys who are reaching out to me, maybe I shouldn't, talk about it in the way that I do, but I want to be, open and honest with you. But please don't email me, yo, OG, how can I get some of that? What's the link? It's illegal here in the States, unless you find a place where they sell it, domestically. I'm not going to send you a link to purchase illegal steroids. What was that charge back in the days? Steering. That could be, now I'm sure it's a federal charge. Steering, illegal sales, holy, I don't even know what that is, but, just Google it. Pharmacist 250, Pharmacist 300. Take your chances like everybody else, okay? Also, hang on a second. I have to promote, maybe I should put that on the screen now. My 501c3, I had two great conversations today. Snitchnetwork.org. I'm working with another family to try and get closure. So if you would like to make a donation to the Snitch Network, which I started back in 2011 in Philadelphia, snitchnetwork.org. The hater does work out here, folks, just in case you don't know, okay? And that site constantly refreshes, snitchnetwork.org. But I want to talk about that a little bit later. And I was doing some thinking with regards to Quando Rondo's friend who was killed and just the whole legal aspect. So we'll talk about that later, okay? All right, hang on. I'm coming to the phones. Anything else I need to lay out? I really want to get into this conversation. Are black males wearing bonnets to school? African Americans, melanated people, they are the most creative, in my opinion, in terms of fashion, style, art, and other things. And a lot of what they create and have created gets taken from them. But now at the same time, they allow other people to come in and take their culture, rock and roll, jazz, and other things. So being creative is fine. Gangs of Love got your donation. Being creative is fine. But is this something different? The bonnets. Does it have to do with masculinity amongst young black males now being toxic? Let me throw something else at you. Hold on a second. I hate to make it black mothers. I spoke to the nigga specialist earlier, Jen from On the Block with Jen, and I said, Jen, you know black men, yes? She said, absolutely. How about this? Let me throw this question at you before I open up the floodgates. Are black mothers trying to make their black sons more feminine to be accepted in today's society? This is just a question. This is not my thoughts. I asked Jen this earlier, and I said, if you got time, call in. And I said to her, don't give me your answer now, but I don't think she's going to be able to call in. She just sent me a text. Are black mothers, melanated women in America, trying to intentionally make their sons gender fluid so that they can be more accepting in today's society? Were their fathers too toxic, too defiant? Always in and out of the penitentiary, toxic, too much masculinity, What do you think about that question? Give me a second. Somebody said, hey, D. Wade. Yeah. D. Wade. We didn't even go down that path. Recent story came out. Dwayne Wade, pardon me, filed paperwork to have his son's gender changed, if I'm saying that right. Yeah. Okay. So those are two things I want to mention tonight. Black mothers, and I mean no disrespect, but at the same time, this show doesn't pander to black women. You can call in, and you can be upset if you like, but we are going to discuss this goddamn topic. Let me go to area code 347 early. Friday evening, are you there? 347. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm
Good
here.
evening. Good evening. How are you, sir? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Star? I wanted to touch point about that Jay-Z situation you was talking about.
Yeah, the ongoing situation. New interview,
Ongoing.
Dame Dash now says Kanye is the greatest.
Listen, you have to understand. Dame Dash was going to do him when he signed Cameron and Braun Harlem to Roc-A-Fella. Once the seesaw started looking a little bit, it started looking more towards Harlem,
Right.
and he felt like Memphis Bleak was here longer. Why are you letting Cameron come here and just become the president when I had Memphis over here, I had Beanie Siegel over here before him?
Hang on a second. I don't think he tried to make. Hang on, sir. He didn't try to make Cameron president, did he? I think he brought him in to do A&R. Was it president? I don't remember that.
No, he actually made Cameron president. If you remember one of the words that came out of Santana's mouth with Cam taking over the Rock, it was him becoming president, and that's what made Jay-Z really go off the chain. Because he was at the Mediterranean Sea with Beyonce at the time and didn't know nothing of it. Mm-hmm. He came back.
I could have swore it was VP of A&R. I never heard president of Roc-A-Fella, sir. I got to be honest with you. Can you give us a source? I never heard that. I could be wrong.
Okay. It was. Let me Google it. I'm right here.
Yeah. Google it. Right. Troll baby, is it president? I never heard that. Could be right. Okay. And he was, I think Beanie Siegel was kind of bothered by Damon Dash nominating Cameron for, I'll just say, an executive position. Yes? Beanie was bothered by that shit.
Yeah.
Hello, you there?
See, Cameron.
Go ahead.
Cameron fuel racism, fuel Jay-Z.
All right, sir, hold on a second. I'm going to put you on hold. Stay there. Whilst you're Googling, stay there. Okay. Give me a second. Let me bring in 443 because I want to get some of these topics on the floor. Good evening. Are you there? 443. Good evening.
What's good?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Ain't much. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. This whole dang Dash thing, like, this dude, he keep talking about Jay-Z. Like, move on, man. You got the Poppinson brand, but yet you still talking about Jay-Z. Every interview he do, he talking about Chatty Patty. My guy.
Well, people always ask him. They're gonna ask him. This is urban media. They always want to catch him slipping. We always want to talk about this because it's a good conversation. So it's never gonna stop. But now let's get right to the question. The greatest musical artist of Roc-A-Fella. What say you?
I say he right. Kanye is the greatest artist. Now, next, like just behind him, who could have been the biggest artist would have been Beanie Siegel out of Philly. But you got to remember, every time Beans dropped the album, he was locked up. He couldn't even promote his own album. Right. Beans got classic.
Yeah.
But Kanye is that guy, man. Like, yeah, he off his rocker now.
Yeah.
But Kanye is that guy. He's the greatest artist that came out of Roc-A-Fella. I mean, Memphis Bleak, like, all right, he the young boy who, you know, they just he stayed around. You know what I'm saying? He was under Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? He's still doing what he probably did back then.
Yeah. Great guy, Memphis Bleak. I can never take shots at him. Yeah. Good businessman too, but he wasn't Kanye. But so you're saying Dame is right. You're saying Dame is right. Kanye West, greatest Roc-A-Fella artist.
Absolutely.
What about Jay-Z? Would Jay-Z be after Beanie Siegel or?
I mean, Jay is that guy, but see, I wouldn't even really put Jay-Z in a conversation because
you have to, sir. Stop. You have to.
I mean,
you have to.
So
Dame chose Kanye over Jay. You have to put him in the conversation. Let's not make another conversation. Where is Jay-Z and the greatest musical artist of Roc-A-Fella? Where?
Number 2. He's number 2.
Okay.
He's behind Kanye.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I got to get back to this other call. Thank you. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back to this guy who I put on hold. All right, so did you find the source? Are you there? 347.
Yeah. Now the source basically said that Cameron turned down The Rock 17 years because of Memphis Bleak. Beanie Siegel said that it was up for him to get position first. But
yes, but you said president. That's my question to you.
Yeah.
Was it president?
It says president. He turned down the president.
Okay.
Of The Rock.
Give me the source. What is the source? I just want to confirm.
Okay.
What's the source?
Okay, the source I got right here is on Hip Hop Topics.
Hip Hop Topics. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Now, and another thing, another thing is Beanie Siegel was the muscle for Roc-A-Fella. Jay-Z was the one that had the talent as far as rapping any type of way that needed to be rapped. Mm-hmm. He was the main event of Roc-A-Fella. But Beanie Siegel brought the thugging, the hoodness back to Roc-A-Fella.
Okay.
Because if you did not remember, once Beanie Siegel came, it was more of a, all right, now we got more position of the street. The street followed suit because Jay-Z was the hustler.
Okay.
And Beanie Siegel was the gangster in the street. So they had to put two and two together to make it solidify the way they did.
Did you know that Beanie Siegel got knocked out backstage a couple of years ago in Philly? You ever hear that?
Yep. And you remember when he knocked out, what was that, DJ Clue?
Hey, but listen, I'm talking about Beanie getting knocked out. You said the muscle. He got knocked out.
Oh, you talk about Beanie. Yeah. Beanie got knocked out when he was like 50 now. Like, at the end of the day, we're not saying he's just still broad.
You said muscle, sir. I'm just asking you a question. He got his shit wrong,
yeah,
man.
Beanie Siegel, did he lose a lung?
I don't know. I forget, man.
I think some motherfuckers. I think some people came up in his house and just let some shots off with him, and he was gangster enough not to say nothing. Gotcha. But I think he lost the lung.
Okay. Thank you for the source, man. I'm going to check that out. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right. No.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Okay. That's even worse if Dame tried to make Cameron the president. Oh, my goodness. Nah, man, it's time that we part ways. Can anybody send me the link? Cam has always been my guy on the microphone, you know, and a great guy in person. For those who don't know, he gave me a pair of Timberland boots one time with chinchilla around the ankles. He brought them to the Star and Buckwild show. I thanked him. I kept those boots for maybe like 3-4 years, and I gave them to one of my cousins. I couldn't see myself wearing Timberland boots with chinchilla around the top. It was a little, there's that Harlem shit. All right, hold on a second, guys. Joseph, got your donation. Hold on a second. How's my audio, guys? Is my audio low or high? Thank you, Joseph. He says my audio's low. Can someone confirm? Is the audio too low? Is it too low? How's that? Is that better? Maybe I hit something on the mixer. Thank you, Joseph. I'll check. Deeds, are you out there? How's my audio? Deeds, can you send me a text? Are you watching? How's my audio? Is it too low? Vic, I got your donation. Dame is old, bitter, and jealous. Jay is the GOAT. Okay. Andre tapping in 713. Did I speak to Andre yet? Andre, you there, sir? Andre, good evening.
Hello.
Hey, how are you, man?
Can you hear me?
How's my audio? Someone said it was kind of low. Do you know?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you for tapping in. I got your donation.
Sounds great.
Where do you want to start, sir?
I wanted to tap in on the bonnet thing.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness. Oh, it's sad.
Are you a father?
Sad, Star.
Are you a father?
Yeah, yes, and exactly why I wanted to call. So I'm a father of 2 daughters.
Okay.
And I'm also a barber by trade.
Okay.
And so you could imagine I'm cutting a lot of young men, a lot of young boys.
Okay.
I'm seeing single mothers bringing their sons in to get their haircuts. And so I'm 42, and I was raised around, manly men. I had 5 uncles. I was raised with a mother and father.
And with this bonnet thing, no, I don't think that a lot of them are wearing them to school, but I think a lot of young boys are carrying a lot of feminine traits.
Can I ask what state are you in, sir? What state are you in?
Oh, I'm in Texas, in
Okay.
Houston, Texas. I lived all over, but I'm in Texas right now.
Okay. Well, this guy, LAR Movement, along with O'Shea Duke Jackson, I mean, they put out some great content. I'm taking their word for this. And LAR Movement has a teenage son, so he was speaking from a position of knowledge. I respect it. I don't know. I mean, I see young black males in Publix supermarket out here, Kroger's, Walgreens. Walmart, and more than half of these little niggas are switching their key and covering their mouth. Oh,
it's crazy.
Ooh, it's crazy.
It's crazy, and it's crazy, and it makes me sad, Star, because if I got 2 daughters and I wanted to marry some real men, I believe it's gonna get harder and harder for them to find it. Right now, my daughters are young; they're 18 and 13, but it's a different caliber of men nowadays. These idiots wearing hoochie daddy shorts, they wearing flamboyant colors, and I know that times change and fashion changes, but sometimes this ain't even fashion no more, and dudes need to you get used to maybe getting their hands dirty or I don't know, go cut some grass or something, get dirt underneath their nails, because I think it's gonna be a sad day for young black women if
well, listen, I've already said I've already said I don't have knowledge in this particular area. I know that a large part of my audience has children that are in middle school now, high school.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, insult my audience, because I know they love their children. I have a nephew.
Yeah.
I have a nephew that, he's running around wearing a lace front. He's a nephew by marriage, not by blood. But hey, love him just the same. I don't question anything.
Right.
As long as he's safe, not riding around, with 3 other niggas in a goddamn car, doing drive-bys. Hey, God bless him. There is no God, but God bless him. Go ahead.
Right. I feel you. Yeah, that to each his own. But yeah, I do notice a lot more. I do notice a lot more femininity going on around the young men. And can I tap in on the Jay-Z, Kanye?
Well, hang on a second. I want to ask you another question. You say you're a barber.
Okay.
You're a master barber. How long you been cutting hair?
Yes, sir. I've been cutting for about 15 years or so. I've cut in Virginia. I've cut in Texas now. So I'm ex-military. I've been around.
Thank you for your service.
Block,
Thank you for your service. Okay, so now I don't want you to mess up any of your clientele. But when melanated or black mothers bring their sons in, drop them off, do you notice any of them, critiquing a certain hairstyle or being accepting of something that may be a little flamboyant in your opinion? Or is it just, you mind your business and you just cut the hair?
I mind my business as far as cutting their hair is concerned, but I do notice that a lot of women, when they come in to bring their sons in, they don't really know what to say or how to say they want a particular haircut.
Okay.
I wouldn't say more flamboyant. I would say the hair is getting longer. A lot of the kids now are just cutting the sides of their hair, letting the top grow, and they're twisting it and getting. Yeah, it makes my job a little easier because I only got half the head to deal with. But it's getting longer, and more flipping of the hair, but.
Have you noticed middle schoolers saying, "Can you give me the Saucy Santana special? I want to look like Saucy Santana."
Hey, I'm gonna check that real quick. See, first of all, with the youngins, at a young age, young boys, I don't play with them too much. I really try to make sure that I keep my masculine frame with them and make sure. Especially if I don't feel like they're getting enough of it at home, I make sure to introduce them to a little bit more masculinity, like sit up straight, speak up louder, stuff like that. the little small stuff. I think a little small stuff with these youngins, even if they got in a single parent home, when they see a man or they come into a barbershop, you can guide them towards masculinity.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
And mind you, I only have 30, 45 minutes with the kids, but I do notice a change.
Got you. Okay.
I do notice a change. Over the years, I've been cutting.
Okay. You want to talk about my top story? Dame Dash says that Kanye West is the greatest musical artist to come out of the Roc-A-Fella camp. This comes by way of the art of dialogue. Go ahead.
He's right, but it comes from a place of bitterness, and everybody getting tired of hearing the same old stuff. And like you said, you can't trust these Harlem niggas and all this. What he wearing, and he wore the Air Force Ones this way. That's corny.
My goodness.
That's corny. It gets so corny when dudes are checking other dudes' fashion. See, down here in Houston, you might run up on a gangster, and this dude might be wearing cowboy boots and dirty jeans, but he might knock your block off.
Yeah.
All that stuff that Dame was worrying about, fashion and being cool and all this stuff like that. That shit got old to Jay. Jay stepped off, started rubbing shoulders with the Jewish, the power players, and he smartened up. What Dame didn't do, he didn't smarten up. He wanted to keep the swag and the drug dealer mindset. Yeah. And it bit him in the butt. He didn't grow. That's the problem.
Too black, too strong.
The problem. Yeah. Star. Hey, Star, man. And you know what? I'm a ride on Dame because he tried to make a little slight at you. You know, so you my favorite.
Well, listen, I don't want to make it personal. I want to be very, very objective. Right. We've gone in on Dame before. I mean, I don't dislike the guy. We never had a fight. There was a rumor back in the days.
Right.
I'm not coming from a place of malice or hatred.
No, I feel you.
He and I actually exchanged emails somewhere, I don't know, maybe 2004, and we said, hey, man, one day maybe we'll sit down and we'll talk, and he said, cool. And that was it. I don't dislike the guy. I'm just tired of him crying. But listen, I got to take other calls, man. Yeah. Thank you. Got to take other calls.
Hey, can I plug something real quick?
Please, go ahead.
I just wanted to, have your listeners check out go to Spotify, go to the podcast section, and type in Legacy Chasers. In the podcast section, Legacy Chasers.
Send me an email. We'll get you a promo package. Send me an email, all right?
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you.
I'll send you an email. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute. Is that the black man specialist on the line? Area code 702.
It is the very one. What's up, Star?
On the block with Jen. Good to hear from you. We spoke briefly earlier, and I said, don't give me your answer now. I want to ask you about my showrunner, which comes to me by way of O'Shea Duke Jackson, and one of his associates, LAR Movement. Great video, both of them put out. I was not aware that young black males are wearing bonnets in high school. Any thoughts, Jen?
Yes, they're not going to like my thoughts, but I don't care.
Let's go.
So they are wearing them in school. I haven't seen O'Shea's video or the other guy. I kind of skimmed through it after you brought it to my attention. But I know, these young boys are wearing them online. I see them on Instagram and on Facebook. Right. But I wanted to take it back a little bit to the whole Monique calling women out for wearing bonnets and slippers and pajamas at the airport. Okay, so I don't know if people know, but right after that happened, a bunch of black men wore bonnets online in solidarity to show solidarity to black women.
I didn't know that.
Ludacris was one of them.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Ludacris. I'm going to email you the picture, but Ludacris also posted a picture in a bonnet to show solidarity.
No, Ludacris. Oh, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, he did. So the men, way back, the men were showing solidarity with the women that are out in the streets wearing bonnets. So, although this is another case where they're blaming those single black mothers, they're at it again, right? They're at it again. You know, although it's that, I think it proves the opposite. It proves that black women are the leaders of the community. I think that's what it shows because, you know, why aren't men taking over? I like what the last caller said, the barber, where he said, look, when a young boy comes in, I stay in my masculine frame. You know what I mean? I tell him sit up. Why are we seeing more of that? Why do women in the community do things and then the men follow? Okay. Instead of it being reversed. Gotcha. Like now they're wearing bonnets. Yep. Now the boys are wearing bonnets. So although women are going to get blamed for this, once again, why aren't men, you know what I mean, going the opposite way? Why are they running around in bonnets now? So okay. I think it's a lack of masculinity, not overbearing femininity, in my opinion.
Okay, let me also ask you the second part of the question. What was that I said to you earlier? Oh God, I'm forgetting. Do you think that black women, and I'm broad stroking, I don't like to even use the word black, you know, or melanated women, intentionally trying to make their sons softer and more gender fluid and feminine, to not be like their fathers, defiant, you know, toxic, you know, too much of a man, you know, always want to argue, won't let me be me. What do you think, Jen? You are a black man specialist. You've had your issues with black men. You were married to a black man, yes?
Yes.
Let's go, Jen.
Yeah, I've been around them my whole life. So it's that question is so interesting because I was watching The Godfather of Harlem yesterday. I know I'm late. I'm on the second season. But there was a scene where the black mother got her son was killed. Okay. Right? Okay. And she was, in the dialogue, she was basically saying that she was happy when she found out her son wanted to be a musician because she felt he would be less threatening in society. Good point. Right? So it's interesting that you asked that question. Yeah. So I wouldn't, you know, art imitates life and vice versa. So I wouldn't put it past women trying to make, you know, trying to diminish the masculinity of their sons so they don't come off as threatening. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a protective tactic. Maybe it's a mama bear thing. But I'm seeing more and more women be lenient with their boys being feminine. Right. Which is interesting. They're being more lenient. I don't know if it's because they want a best friend in the house. I don't know what the psychological, you know, what's behind it psychologically. But I am seeing women be more lenient. Where before it was like, man up, do this, be the man of the house. Now it's like, well, okay, just put my bonnet back when you're done. So it's interesting.
Boy, come on in here and smoke a blunt with your mama. Shit.
You know, since we're living in
you want to borrow my dress? No. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Go ahead.
But nah. You know, we're living in that age now where it's like parents want to be friends with their teenagers. So now, you know, they're sharing blunts and bonnets. Blunts and bonnets.
Blunts and bonnets.
You know,
blunts and
yeah, so who are these? Let me trademark that real quick.
Yeah, I think you should. That would be a great podcast, Blunts and Bonnets. Go ahead.
It really would. You know, so it's scary who these young girls are going to have in their dating pool in 10, 20, 30 years. They're going to be dating themselves, essentially.
Good point.
It's a scary thing, but I really do think it's a lack of masculinity, not overbearing femininity. Why are men following what women do? Why?
One last question, Jen.
Yeah.
So you being a black man specialist, and I give you that. Have black men been too masculine, too toxic over the centuries? Are you still interested in dating black men, or have you moved on because of, you know, issues in the past? And I say that respectfully. Have they been too toxic, too aggressive and arrogant and ego-driven in the past?
I'll say this. It's been half and half for me. Like, I've dated some really good black men. I've also dated bums. Like, yeah, it's the woman's story, right? No, I haven't given up on them. I'm still open to dating them, but I'm just going to pick better. as far as them being too toxic and too masculine, I've had the opposite experience. Like black men are soft with me, right? So I don't have the same experience as, let's say, a black woman would have. And I don't have my sign. I usually hold up a sign that says not all, some. So I'm not saying all black men are this way with black women. Don't jump in my comments, right? But you know, with me, they get to be just, you know what I mean, you know, soft men, right? They get to be regular, where I think is, you know, in other relationships with women that are not Latin, they have to be, there's always a combative situation.
If I can poke my nose in your business, we've never met in person. I don't know anything about your dating life, but someone such as yourself, you know, outspoken, talkative, you're a smart woman. We've had conversations. You're an intelligent woman. I think if you're still dating black men, I think you should get yourself a black guy 10 or 15 years younger than yourself. Don't get no old nigga. Get a younger black man. Yeah, more manageable.
I know. Tell me.
More manageable.
I've actually dated a guy 10 years younger than me.
There you go. Yeah.
I actually have. Good times.
Yeah. If he gets to run in his mouth, give him a 2-piece. Pow.
Oh my God. No, not anymore. I retired.
Hey, I thank you for tapping in. I know you can't be on the line too long. Promote your channel, please. What's going on the block with Jen on YouTube, please?
Absolutely. On the block with Jen. Last show was about the Vanessa Williams. I'm sorry, not Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Bryant winning, you know, her money in court against the deputies in California. So she won big money. We went over that, and then we went over Derek Chauvin being moved from Gen Pop to the feds. He's comfy in the feds because his mama wanted him closer to her. So they moved him on. They moved them on over to the Fed. So, yeah, I got a good weekend coming up and a good next week. We're going to talk about hip-hop, you know, Latin contributions to hip-hop and the Twitter war that's going on with that. So
Okay.
I'll be hitting that next week.
Thank you, Jen. Have a great evening.
You too, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Bye now. All right. On the block with Jen. The nigga specialist. I think Randy gave her that name, right? OG, I got your donation. Jen is the BBC Whisperer 100. TJ tapping in. Aaron butters Zach Lee's buns with his butter. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg, thank you for tapping in. Sir, do you want to join this conversation on a Friday night? Elvis, where's
Big
Elvis?
Elvis to Chef Rosenberg. I am here, star. I am here.
Good to hear from you, sir. Where do you want to start? Dame Dash, at it again. Our black men, young teens, maybe middle school, wearing bonnets. Shit. Where do you want to start?
Right. Well, let me just say the bonnet thing. Any young man you seeing wearing a bonnet is going to be a very dangerous young man. And do not test that person in that bonnet. Don't call him out his name because you're going to get $150 or you might get clapped. These young men in these bonnets are dangerous. More dangerous than the do-rag when the do-rag came out the house. This is ultra dangerous people that are loving so hard on their mamas and their aunts. And they're coming from such an emotionally wrecked, damaged place.
Okay.
That I wouldn't test not one young kid in a bonnet because you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. I'm very cautious down here in the Atlanta metro area with any of these little skinny niggas because, you know, it's the little frail bird chest niggas that'll pop you fast because they don't want to tussle with a bigger person. So I'm you know. I try to avoid any type of disagreements. I definitely don't argue with people, you know, but I think you've got a very, very good point. Go ahead.
Yeah, because and the person that wears the bonnet, there's a good chance that under the bonnet, they have already processed their hair. So they're dealing with that and it's not coming from like there was a time where these young kids that processed their hair, they were coming from more of a pimpish mentality.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening now is this is just a renegade style. This is for the true alpha renegade, dangerous. I don't give a F.
Yeah.
I don't give a F. I don't care.
Right.
And they coming at it, and they're emotionally wrecked children that are dealing with, like Jen said something, how now we're going to blame the mothers. And if Jen is coming from, I don't know what space she's coming from, but I've seen these bonnet wearers, and they're the ones that break the city bikes. They riding around with the city bikes for 12 hours.
Now, hang on a second, Elvis. You're from the New York tri-state area. You're seeing young black males wearing bonnets in New York, out in public.
Oh yes.
Damn.
I've seen at least 15 bonnet wearers.
Damn.
And they're the ones that are riding the city bikes that they break the chip in it so they can ride in it. They're the ones that's snatching up the ho-hos in the corner stores. They're the ones rolling with 2-3 dudes all up and down the hallway staircases and all that.
Shit.
I've seen at least 15 young men with these bonnets on, and they're not to be played with.
Now, hang on a second. Now, you've got, from what I can see, those Hispanic and Caribbean boys riding around on the scooters, doing the drive-bys and the shootings. But no, have you seen niggas in bonnets riding around on scooters and shooting people?
No.
Niggas in bonnets?
No, I haven't seen them in scooters. I've only seen them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Come on.
Go ahead, Elvis.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I got
That's okay.
distracted by a guy trying to take my parking spot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but no. I've only seen the young ones. I haven't seen anybody over, let's say, 15, 16.
So you've seen...
They got them. They're in like junior high school,
Oh,
high school.
stop
They
it.
on the train.
Junior high school?
And
Junior high school little niggas wearing bonnets up north?
oh, yes.
Shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. In the words of Lil Flipper, game over. Game over. Game over. Yeah.
Game over, Cadova.
Yeah. Hey, Elvis, I gotta take more calls, man. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you.
Respect.
Yes, sir. Elvis to Chef Rosenberg. Hustle, I got your donation via PayPal. Thank you so much. And folks, at the top of my live chat is the PayPal link and info if you want to send in a donation via PayPal. If you don't have Cash App, your contributions are appreciated. Please make sure you check out Devious J on YouTube. We have another track that we're uploading tomorrow morning of his very, very creative videos. Let me make sure I take a screenshot. And Precise, are you tapping in? Where is Precise? Precise did a long show yesterday. Precise, are you out there? If you want to tap in, let me go to two donations here. Stop being a keyboard killer. Thank you for tapping in. Hi, Star. I never was a fan of Jay, so I'll go with Kanye as being the best artist on the rock. And I'm from Georgia. And the boys with bonnets is crazy. By the way, Big L Body J on that 7-minute freestyle. Yeah, most people say that. Thank you, darling. Lex Barber got your donation. Salute, Star. Jay-Z moved like a real music exec. Dame moved like a fool, trying to impress fools. Business over bullshit. I can be objective, even though I've got more history with Jay-Z. And I've said this before. I want to stay consistent. Dame was really helping a lot of street guys try to not only get into the music business, but to be bosses. We have to give him that credit. He did a little too much, if you ask me, because a lot of those guys, they weren't proven. They were just, hungry, wanting to be rappers. Not to discredit any of them, but it just, it's just, I don't know. And most of those guys couldn't even manifest, and they can't help him now. Kanye West is helping Dame Dash now. Kanye is helping Dame. He's, taking care of some of his finances. They're doing business together. But we have to give Dame Dash that credit, okay? Andre, thank you for your donation. Terrence got your donation star. Are you and Pocahontas done? If so, hook me up. Sir, I don't do referrals. Pocahontas is doing the damn thing. She's a businesswoman, She doesn't live in Georgia, I don't know you, sir, but thank you for your donation. I'm not just gonna refer somebody out. Gangs of Love got your donation. Big Aki wears chinchilla panties to sleep. #per. Okay, that was cute. Hold on a second, guys. Let me change up the showrunner because I think I want to approach that other topic right now as well. Hey, Doris. A young girl came looking for her man because the Find My Phone app said he was at my house. He wasn't. After an hour of banging on doors, she showed us a pic, and he had a red bonnet. I have audio of her interrogating our elderly neighbor. She was wilding. Okay, her man had a bonnet. Thank you, Doris. Damn. Thank you, Doris. Doris's boys in bonnets. Blade tapping in. Bonnets are simply the latest incarceration of suspect fashions and styles. Did you mean incarnation? Okay. The latest incarnation of suspect fashion and styles. In the 60s, it was the hair conch. Okay. In the 70s, it was the Jerry curl. You mean the late 70s, Jerry curl. In the 70s, you had perms. You had Barry White and a host of others. They had the perms. The 80s was when the Jerry curls came around, Blade, to be precise, okay? Niggas with hair rollers in the 90s. It was publicly wearing shower caps. Today, it's bonnets. Yeah. I can't be mad. But again, if you're just now joining the show, I'm giving all the credit to O'Shea Duke Jackson, a really good social engineer and content creator, and LAR Movement. LAR Movement, please check out his video. It's called Bonnets, Black Boys, and Manhood. All right? 202. Good evening. Is that area code 202 tapping in? 202. Hello.
Yo.
Good evening. 202.
Hello.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going.
Big nigga.
How are you?
Salute.
It's cracking, man.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Thank you. Where do you want to start, sir?
And I donated. I want to start with shout out Freaky London.
I'm gonna let you get that one off, sir, but we don't do shout outs, you know that. And for those who don't know, Freaky London from the BX, he got that work down in the South years ago. For those who don't know, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me start with Cam and the Rock and Jay and Dame.
Go ahead.
Ye definitely not the best off the Rock. Hove is. That's just clown talk.
Okay.
But that's a Harlem dude, so he's corny and he's flashy and he's pretty feminine with the flashiness. I make no bones about that.
Okay.
Pajamas to school, that go hand in hand with the bonnets. And I got a buddy, his son, he got a perm in his head, like the relaxer with the fade perm, the mid-90s. He's a clown.
Okay.
I tell him, man, your son's walking around town in pajamas, bro, and that's not cool, bro. That's not masculine. That's part of the baby mama culture that has infested the hood. I don't like it. I think it's weak.
Okay.
I got my own son. He can't get that off, man. He could never. He told me, Daddy, it's Spirit Week, Daddy. They want us to dress up and go to school and this, that, and the third. I said, you won't be doing none of that, son. And if anybody got a problem with it, V-Bucks on me if you take off on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask what state you're calling from and how old's your son, respectfully?
My son is 8 years old.
Okay.
I'm calling from Chicago, and it's a lot of ratchet energy out here in Chicago. A lot of single moms, a lot of strong black women.
Right.
And we're not playing that. I big gave my son to talk. Fat girls, they'll try to run you, and you'll be a loser if you grow up and you let fat girls run you. You'll have fat girls in your life as an adult. You don't want that, young man. So we have those talks.
Now, hang on a second, sir. Well, you're using old terminology. Aren't they considered something different now? Plus size, BBWs, let's keep it real. There's a lot of niggas out here that like all that extra cushion for the pushing. A lot of niggas go for that.
Those are losers. Those are loser dudes who have no choice but to deal with morbidly obese mammies.
Okay.
Mammies. That's what we go. The big mammies. The big mama jammas.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have some men, if I can just throw my little 2 cents in here, you have some men that like a woman who's got a little insecurity about her. We don't want everybody thinking she's high-stepping, always talking about she got to get a brand new Birkin bag or some red bottoms. No, bitch. I'm home. I got some ring dings for you. I got a pack of yodels. There you go, over there in the bag. Go on and get that, and let's go to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing out of your mouth. Some men live that life, and they do have lives of peace. Yes, no.
I feel sorry for those brothers, and those brothers are in unfortunate situations, having to deal with those big old mama jammas.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, I appreciate the call. I got to keep it rolling here. Thank you for tapping in.
Real quick, man. Just tell Jen I'll take her out.
So I don't relay messages, but thank you so much, sir. Now he wants to simp. He was doing good, but now tell Jen. Well, go on Jen's page, sir. On the Block with Jen. I don't run messages, sir. Guys on the screen, please go to YouTube. Tubbs Tubby Kun. Okay? Tubbs Tubby Kun on YouTube. Tell him I sent you. And I got a couple more sponsors I want to promote here coming up shortly. Elvis the Chef, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Somebody sent me something about Wendy Williams. Is Wendy okay? Oh, man. I don't want to watch this video right now. I hope she's okay. She's got Crohn's disease, What a nice person she was to me in the early stages of my Star and Buckwall journey. Haven't seen her since many years. Judah, got your donation. These niggas wearing the bonnets and Crocs shaking my head. Well, let me say this. I've got a good friend, and he said to me that his son asked him for a pair of Crocs. Now, he's a good friend, and I like his son, so I would never say anything sideways. The kids want to look like other kids. They want to be down. I'm not mad at that. And again, I don't have biological kids. I'm not going to say, oh, you shouldn't let your kids wear bonnets. But it is a reality. Blade, got your donation. Thank you. Whoa, hold on a second. Jen just sent me a picture of Ludacris wearing a bonnet. Oh, no, Luda. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you, Jen. I got the picture. Shit. Wicked Hebrew tapping in. These are Mammy's kids wearing them bonnets. You might be right. Biggs tapping in. Hold on a second. Lawsuit for Zach Lee, Bussy, terrorist threats. Okay, well, sir, are you looking for a consultation? You got to put another $95 with that $5, but thank you so much, okay? Oh, wait a minute. Rory's tapping in. Rory sends in a Cash App. He's in Oregon right now. He says, salute, Star. I joined a biker gang out here. All right, hang on a second. Let me go back to one of my sponsors. Smartland Buyers, www.smartlandbuyers.com. Check them out. Tell them I sent you. Good evening, area code 305. 305. Are you there? Are you ready?
What's good, Star?
Yes, sir. How are you? Good evening.
I'm good. Yeah, man. I was calling in about the bonnet thing, and along with the Jay-Z thing that you were talking about.
Yes, sir.
Now, first with the bonnet thing. Now, when we was in high school, right? You know, you had guys wear their ladies wear the nameplates and stuff like that. You had the football players. You know, they'll give their ladies the jackets and vice, you know, stuff like that.
Okay.
But man, this bonnet thing, that's weird, yo. That's weird.
Can I ask what state you're in, sir? And do you have kids?
I'm in Miami. I'm in Florida.
Oh, right, 305. Okay. Do you have any sons? Middle school, high school?
No, I don't have any kids.
Okay. Do you think this should be a matter of concern, or is it just, you know, a fashion thing? It's not that deep, you know. Black males wore jerry curl caps back in the days. You know, niggas back in the 70s used to wear platform shoes, bell bottoms, and also back in the 80s, I forget what period, up in Harlem and other places, you had guys that wore the cut-off T-shirts. They were showing their belly buttons and all sorts of shit.
Oh man, nah. But this, what else I forgot to tell you though, Star. There was a time, you know those shoes, the Melissas.
What era was that?
The Melissa shoes. Like that was back like early 2000s. There was Melissas with the M on them. They kind of looked like them Air Maxes, the Shocks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like on the heel they had the support.
Yeah.
And it was dudes that was actually wearing those to school. They was in their little cliques, but they were actually wearing them. Melissas.
Okay.
And that was just like, you know, that was weird. But now, I mean, but to see these kids or what they're saying about they're wearing bonnets, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's weird.
Well, if you don't have kids, sir, why does it bother you? It sounds like it bothers you.
No, it doesn't bother. I mean, just seeing it though, you know, because I did see an article or something. I was on, I can't remember what website, but I seen that. It was like, or maybe it was the thumbnail that Duke O'Shea had or something like that. But I did see they were saying like the young guys are wearing bonnets in high school or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it, but it's just, you know, you're talking on the topic, so you know I just called in to elaborate.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. I'm gonna take more calls. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to say something else about Dame Dash?
Yeah,
Kanye.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, I mean, Ye ain't too far from Hov, man. See, people knock the fact that even the Black Album, and all these other albums, Hov, he was kind of like Jay-Z's secret weapon. You know, and a lot of people don't look at it as, what if Ye didn't produce, you know, all of those records and stuff for Jay-Z?
Good point.
Would his career be how it is? I'm a serious Jay-Z fan. I like Ye, Cam, you know, The Roc.
Mm-hmm.
I did, you know, I always followed.
So to Dame Dash's comments, again, on the Art of Dialogue, this is where this is coming from. He said Kanye West is the greatest music artist to represent Roc-A-Fella Records, not Jay-Z. Is there merit to what Dame Dash said?
Yes and no. Now, Ye is...
Sir, can you give us one or the other, please? Just, come on, please.
Okay, I'll say yeah.
Okay.
He's influential. Like, all that he made... this guy made a way for a lot of artists.
Okay.
You know, had it not been for Ye, you know, that impact that he had, you know, even with myself, you know, Jay-Z was influential as well, but Ye just took it on a whole nother level.
Gotcha.
Rapper.
All right, so I got to take other calls. Thank you.
All right, you be good.
Thank you. Okay. We're combing through this again. Dame Dash looking very cool, calm, and collected as he addresses this topic. He's always going to say something about Jay-Z, and we should expect this. But let's not, let's not look down upon some of the things that he's saying, even though it may be coming from a position of, I don't want to say anger. I would say jealousy, though. Harlem niggas can't stand to see another nigga shine. Oh, my God. Don't ever bring your girl, I've said this before, don't ever bring your girl around a Harlem nigga and expect him not to critique something she's wearing. If she's wearing a certain colored diamonds and they're not the new color, yellow or blue or some shit, he's gonna say something. He's gonna ask, you don't have the other ones? To fuck with her. Oh, I like your shoes, but you should get those Manolo Blahniks. They would look better on you. Hold on a second, guys. Hustle, I got your donation. Hustle says, as sad as it sounds, I miss when mainstream media used to depict black men as gangsters. Now they're pushing the homo agenda against the gods. Yeah. Sugar G tapping in. Okay, that was yesterday's topic, but thank you so much, Sugar G. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I think that's Precise tapping in, area code 818. Is that Precise on the line?
You better know it.
What's going on with you,
man? You better
man?
know it. Doing great, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. Got you on the screen. Subscribe to Mr. Precise and on YouTube. What'd you guys do, a 6-hour show yesterday? How long was that show, man?
Hey, you know what? Before we get into that, I got to say we took a poll, Star. Okay? Now, what? But I got two things on there. We took a poll, and the lady said they like it long. No, you know what I'm saying? But our audience say they like it long, you know what I mean, according to the poll. But for the compromise, what we do have is a wonderful lady that puts everything in timestamps.
Okay.
And chronicalize, if you would. You know what I'm saying? The labels and whatnot. So there's a compromise. But regardless, there's some great stuff going on over there.
Great.
I don't know if the algorithm is what it is. You know what I mean? But again, I mean, come on, man. Like the Duke, I see the Duke of Tears comes to the chat.
Well, for those who don't know who he is, let's not assume everybody knows him. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? What does he do?
This guy is a staple in the black conscious community.
Okay.
He's so much of a staple that he used to lecture with the House of Consciousness era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I know who he is. Hang on. I know who he is, but for the people who have no idea, so this was your guest Wednesday, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And he blew our heads off. Go ahead.
No, okay, so he was your guest Wednesday. People should go to your channel. It's on my showrunner. And
yes.
So you guys had a great build. Great build.
Yes, a super cipher build. You know, we call the chat room the Precise Cipher.
Nice.
And it was a super cipher build. I mean, we broke down the transgender situations and how certain people had to be accepted, what we say, free and accepted. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I still have a point to go with the bonnets once we're done with promoting and everything like that.
Yeah, hang on a second. I want you to jump in. Hold on a second. I want you to talk about my showrunner. Hang on a second. Because with all due respect, you wear, you have locks. You have long locks. So I would imagine you wear some type of head wrap. Do you wear
do-rag
do you wear bonnets? Do you wear bonnets? Precise?
Nah, man. Nah, we ain't wearing no bonnets, player.
Okay.
All right.
Come on.
That's the one thing. And here's my thing. Okay. You got to let me flow, though. Let me flow. All right.
Well, just watch hang on. Watch the profanity.
I'm aware of that, Star. I'm aware.
And let's wrap this up.
Let me flow,
we have 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes.
Okay, here we go. But this needs to be said because that ain't been said nowhere else before.
Come on.
Watch this. There is people who are in charge of us. Are you letting me go?
Go.
Okay, there are people who are in charge of us that happen to hate women, and they hate women because they're not a woman. Okay. However, you and I both know you can put money to anything, and the more money you put to it, the more you can make it popular. So these people who hate women because they're not women, because they can't be women, are in charge of making something like that a fashion trend, are in charge of having our young men wearing effeminized things. We could go all the way into the atrazine that's been put into the that's been put into the food to make our black men be effeminized. You know what I'm saying? So there's also books out there. Mm-hmm. I can't quote the exact source, but you can look it up just by saying this. But the effeminization of black males, check that out. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you that there's been a source and a systemic attack on the black male and the youth at that to get them to be feminized, and it looks like it is working.
All right, I'm going to jump in. Take a break. I have discussed something similar well over a decade ago. And the name that you may or may not be looking for is Pasalac. It's a growth hormone that is in the feed and the grain that is given to livestock. And it changes human DNA. This is, not just me going off the top. You can Google Pasalac.
The hormones has been scientifically.
It's a growth.
Something close to the atrazine.
It's a growth hormone, Pasalac. And, maybe they're using something else with it that has got, some of the, I'll just say, urban community feeling extra zesty. Mm-hmm. Feeling extra zesty.
Yeah, and not to mention the things that they're dropping. That's funny as hell, by the way. But not to mention what they dropping from the sky. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about our show. We get into the deep stuff, but we talk that shit too. You know what I mean? And we get crazy with it.
All right.
So yeah.
I gotta cut you short, Precise. I gotta cut you short. Folks, please go to.
Hey man, check out the Precise Live show.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Subscribe to Mr. Precise 8. It's lit over there. We learning, laughing, and having a great time.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate your salute.
Yes,
Stay
sir.
Elevated.
Thank you. Okay, Precise tapping in. Okay, everybody hold on a second. I'm going to shift gears to my second showrunner. What type of ring does she deserve? Let me say that again. What type of ring does she deserve? Not what type of ring does she want, but what type of ring does she deserve? Now, this showrunner is based upon a video that came out, I think maybe 3 months ago. It was just reposted again today on World Star, but it's been out a couple of months. A melanated woman, darker complexion. I did not post this in my community section. I was busy today. She's on an Instagram Live talking to a Caucasian woman, and I'm just going to give you somewhat of a gist of what was said. It was too long for me to watch the whole goddamn thing. And the Caucasian asked the melanated woman what type of ring she wanted. The melanated woman, or black, whatever you consider yourselves to be, she said a $200,000 ring. A man would have to be able to afford a $200,000 ring for her, an engagement ring, okay? Now, again, my question, what type of ring does she deserve? Based upon that video, I may post it in the community section later. I don't know, I don't want to give this chick any more shine because I don't see her being worth $200K. And let me just say to some of you younger males and to those of you older males like myself, we know how to look for certain qualities in a female. Not every female is a queen. Not every female is a lady. They're all vanity driven, including the ones that we come from. And when you're looking at a female, what you're looking for, and this is an old saying, it's the ROI, return on investment. That's not a new term for some of you who, you think just because you heard it within the last couple of years, oh, ROI, so-and-so said that. No, that goes back decades. The first thing you want to look at is her teeth. Are her teeth straight? Are her teeth filed? Does she have an overbite or an underbite? Does she need braces? Is she talking about what she wants and her teeth look like a goddamn picket fence? Now, that'll give you insight into her family, her mother and father. did they put braces on her teeth? I'm not talking about women when they get older and then they go get braces. No, when they were younger. Look at some pictures to see how her teeth looked when she was younger. You see, they can tell you anything. Oh, my father did this, my mother did that. But if her teeth were fucked up when she was a kid, clearly her parents couldn't afford braces. There's other things with regards to what type of ring does she deserve. Look at her family tree. Anybody sickly? Anybody anemic? Always cold? That's a blood deficiency. Does she always got mucus? Always coughing and hacking? Doing all that shit, you know? What does she deserve? What is the value on that type of woman? Anybody in the family have Down syndrome or, need medication? Are they on pills? Always taking pills. Does her mother take pills? Does her father got to wake up to a whole goddamn nightstand full of pills? What type of ring does she deserve? Now, just to put the attention on the female, and again, I'm not going to post her video. I don't want to give her no goddamn props. Who's talking about a $200,000 ring? This bitch had fucked up edges, fake hair, some type of, the shit was tied up. Clearly she sleeps with a goddamn, a headscarf on. Not that that's a bad thing. But are you gonna wake up to a headscarf, after you put a ring on it? You don't have to be disrespectful to the type of hair that she has, but does she have coarse hair? Coarse hair. Yeah, a man has the right to say, hey, I like you, but I don't, I want to feel something silky, long and natural. It's nice that you can go on and, spend $1,500, $3,000 for a goddamn, whatever those lace fronts run these days. I wouldn't know. I would never buy a bitch a lace front. All this takes into account as to what she deserves, if you ask me. What is her net worth? Never mind her net worth, because you see, she can get sick and then everything goes to hell. What is her network? Who is she affiliated with? What is her family about? Does she come from money, or does she come from people that will always be, calling, reaching out after you put a ring on it to help them? Does she have brothers in the penitentiary? Somebody got an issue with a goddamn baby daddy. What type of ring does she deserve? Troll babies, chime in if you like. Hold on a second. I'm coming to the phones. I just want to lay all this out because, if we're talking about putting a ring on it. That video, I looked at it and I looked at that chick and I said, she's lucky if somebody gives her a ring worth $25K. $25,000. Who's she gonna show the ring to? Bum bitches? Hang on a second. Marisol got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. No message, but she just wanted to tap in. Okay. 757, let's bring you in first. Good evening. We've shifted gears, unless you need to talk about the other topic, the bonnets. Are you there? 757, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. If not, I have to keep it pushing. Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How you doing?
Good, good, good. What do you want to chime in, sir?
I actually wanted to chime in on the Dame comment.
Okay.
I think musically, he was correct musically.
Okay.
Now, is Jay-Z a better rapper? I think, of course. But as far as the music goes, Kanye is, musically superior with the producing and beat making. I think that should be taken into consideration when you're talking musically. Yeah,
the art of dialogue is where this interview came from. if he's being objective and it's not from a place of malice and jealousy, then I think we should respect that. But it just seems like
I mean, maybe.
Go ahead.
No, it may be a place of jealousy, honestly, but I mean, I think that there is some truth in if we're just speaking musically. Now, I mean, if he said that that Kanye was a better rapper, I think that would just be him being petty.
Right.
But I think as far as musically, I think he was correct. If that's what because I didn't actually hear the interview.
Okay. Were you a Roc-A-Fella fan? Jay-Z, was that your era? A lot of people really appreciated that era, including myself. I was there on the radio. Is that your era?
Yes. Yes, it was. I mean, I actually appreciate the verse that Jay-Z actually did for the new DJ Khaled album.
I didn't hear that. I heard people speak of it. Can you describe it for us?
It was a lot more than what I was expecting or anticipating. It was like 80 bars. So it was like he kind of he gave an extended verse. I mean, it was dope. Really good verse.
I'll check it out. Well, let me ask you a question since you said that was your era.
Okay.
Here's what I do respect about what Dame Dash is saying. Roc-A-Fella Records should not be defunct. You know, I mean, I know Jay-Z's got Rock Nation and stuff like that, but when you look at the great labels throughout the course of black music, black culture, or whatever term you want to use with regards to melanated people, it's a shame that label has just pretty much vanished. If you compare it to Motown, Bad Boy, Philadelphia International, and other labels, I mean, it should have gotten at least another decade, if not more, of churning out artists. What do you think about that?
I agree. And I mean, honestly, I think if they would have been able to make it work for even 5 more years, who knows how big that label could have grown and what it could have been. Because, I mean, they were having success with the movies. They were having success in music. They were having success outside of music with, clothing, shoes, alcohol. Because, I mean, Cam had Scissor and, Jay and Dame had Armadale. I mean, it was just a lot. It was just a lot of success.
Armadale, I forgot about that.
Tree.
Armadale.
Yeah, that family tree is huge, but I mean, who knows what it could have been if they would have been able to just
I will say this.
Hold it together for 5 more years.
I will say this. I truly believe that there was a collective effort to dismantle Roc-A-Fella. I'm not going to say any names, but I could go in deep. I could go in deep because of the corporation I worked for at the time, MS Communications. There were things, and I've got a lot of paperwork and files and shit like that. And one day when I do my documentary, I'm going to rat on every fucking body. But there were people pulling strings who I truly believe it was within their best interest to destroy Roc-A-Fella, to stop it, to just stop it and shut it down. Because if you look at all the artists that were a part of that, man, no disrespect, but all of them have pretty much just fallen to the wayside. But go ahead and finish up, please.
I mean, I have to agree, and I'm sure you are more knowledgeable in that area than I am. So I'd agree. I mean, because realistically, they could have been, I guess, comparable to Cash Money. Like, if they were
bigger than Cash Money, bigger.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking like comparable to Motown, but in the hip hop genre. But like, they could have been huge. I mean,
bigger than Motown.
To look at the success that they actually still, you know what I'm saying? I agree with you, for sure. Hey, and man. I mean, who knows what everyone else could have done with a Kanye beat, like a Kanye beat on a State Property album, or, and back then, and what his production meant for albums and album sales.
Okay. Thank you for your call, man. Have a great evening. Thank you. Thank you.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just throw something out here while I'm thinking, because, you know, I'm a thinking nigga. What did Barry Gordy sell Motown for? Was it $60 million? What did he sell Motown for? Anybody in that live chat know? Let me just throw something at you. Barry Gordy sold Motown. How much? It wasn't a big number. $61 million. Now, I don't know what, if anything, he retained. He sold it to MCA Inc. That wasn't a big, if you ask me, that wasn't a big number. Sells EMI a stake in catalog of Motown. Wait a minute. EMI Publishing said yesterday that it had paid, $132 million to Barry Gordy Jr. for a half stake in the publishing. Okay, so he made more money off of the publishing than the actual mechanical rights. That makes more sense, the publishing, 132. But now, if memory serves me correctly, Rick Rubin sold, was it Deaf American for $300 million? Hold on, Rick. And all he had was Andrew Dice Clay, the Black Crowes. Okay, Rick Rubin left Def Jam in 1988 and currently operates American Records, formerly Deaf American Records, which mostly focuses on rock talent. In 1999, Simmons sold the last of... Okay, now, how much did Rick Rubin... Anybody know, Troll Babies? Wasn't it $300 million? Some crazy number. How much... Guys, sit tight on the phone. Just sit tight. There is a reason why I'm doing all this. How much did Rick Rubin sell Deaf American? Anybody know? Am I right? 300 million? 120? Somebody says... I can't find the number right now. Not Def Jam. Deaf American. It was some crazy number. I thought it was 300 million. Anyway, the point is, I do believe that Dame Dash was jerked. Finally. Or ultimately. If you look at, and let's look at modern times right now. Streaming. NFTs, all sorts of stuff. And as we've already touched on in the past, Roc-A-Wear, the liquor. Dame was becoming too powerful. And I'm not even talking about the split with he and Jay. I believe that there was a collective effort of a certain group of people, hint, that said, hey, let's shut him down. Chime in if you like, all right? Let me go to the phone lines here. Area code, who is 708? Is that one of my trolls? Good evening, are you there? 708. I'm rambling tonight.
Good evening, sir.
Hey, how are you?
Good evening, sir. I appreciate the content. Thank you so much for picking up. I wanted to contribute to the Dame Dash, Kanye West, and Jay-Z.
Yeah, please. The Art of Dialogue is where this interview came from. Did you see it by any chance, Dame's comments? It was a video.
Oh, no. But okay. I just wanted to add to the just the library of the conversation, I guess.
Go ahead.
And were you talking about Lior at all, or no?
I didn't say anything, sir.
Okay. All right. No, so I think that, I mean, it is so sad when I see a fellow tourist, being petty, trying to break down Jay-Z. But we got to give it to Dame Dash because he's the one that put Kanye West on. So ultimately you got to give Dame Dash the credit for giving Kanye the chance. So, I think there's a reason why he gave Kanye the nod. But then also, he's speaking facts because Kanye is the GOAT, literally.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay is a better rapper, but Kanye is just better, and he's richer than Jay-Z.
Is he?
And also, he's he has about 8 billion and growing. And Jay's probably only
Right.
Jay's only 1 or 2, and Kanye's also helping Dame Dash out because he's giving back.
Yeah. I did mention that earlier. Now hold on a second, because if memory serves me correctly, Kanye West did admit that he chose to go with Jay-Z even though Dame put him on. He admitted that. Yes, I saw an interview. I forget where, when.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye is always about the culture, and that's what you got to appreciate. Sometimes it's a love-hate thing because sometimes the culture is backwards, and Kanye will go along with it just because it's more clouded,
I have to stop you there, sir. I have to stop you. Kanye is about money, and I specifically heard Kanye West, troll babies, help me out. Kanye West said, maybe it was a rant, he said, you have no culture. He was talking to black people. He said, you have no culture. So when you're saying he's about the culture, that sounds great, but I remember him going on a fucking rant saying, you have no culture. But go ahead.
I think he said that for the culture. Like, a lot of the stuff that a lot of the stuff he says is it's shock. And I think even conceptually, he's much better of an artist than Jay-Z because Jay-Z emulated the white Italians and or I guess the Italians and then the Jews, and then Kanye emulated the biggest gangster in America, which is the Christian. So in terms of power and emulating power, I think Kanye has a way better idea artistically than Jay-Z. But, and then, that's all I wanted to add. I appreciate the content.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Keep going.
You. Have a great night. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
Where did Kanye West say that? I heard him. It was like one of his rants. You have no culture. He went in hard in the paint. Hey, Tyra, got your donation. Are you scared of the Illuminati? LOL. No, I'm not scared. Lior and I are cool. He cut me a 6-figure check years ago. That's my nigga, for real. If that's what you're talking about. But I mean, I want you to think. Don't just listen to me. I mean, a lot of that stuff from that period, I got paperwork, I got receipts, I got memos. Oh, did I collect memos? Back in the mid to late 80s, the mid 80s for 2.5 years when I worked in the mailroom at MTV, if I can just ramble here for a second, guys. I started, I was a mailroom guy delivering the mail. I used to deliver on the 8th floor, the 9th floor, where they had Nickelodeon on the 9th floor, and they had the traffic department. And then I was on the 10th floor, and then the 11th floor. The 11th floor where Bob Pittman and David Horowitz were. Oh, I used to read their mail. I used to make copies. I used to get in early and make copies. I would literally open up their mail because you had the little string, make copies, and I just had files and files and files. So getting an understanding of building a library, so to speak. When I got to Hot 97, I was copying shit. Sometimes I would go by people's desk and I would see a memo. I would take their memo, go copy it, and then just take it home. I've got a letter that the program director from Hot 97 sent to the record labels when Power 105 came into existence, threatening the labels. If you let your artists go over to Power 105, we will stop playing your music. You will no longer get airplay here, nor will your artist perform at Summer Jam. I mean, I'm rambling. Just give me a second. So that was to Tara's Cash App. Thank you again, Tara. All right, sit tight, guys. I feel like talking. 704, good evening. Are you there? 704. A little noise in the background.
Can you hear me?
No, sir. It's noisy. What are you doing? Sounds crazy. You're killing me.
Yeah, my bad. What about now?
Yes, sir. Where do you want to start? Good evening.
Good evening. Let's start with the Kanye and the Jay-Z thing.
Okay. Dame Dash says Kanye West is the greatest music artist to represent Roc-A-Fella Records. He said this on the Art of Dialogue, please.
Okay. Now, first off, I want to say that I am a Kanye West fan.
Okay.
I am a Ho fan. The thing is, I grew up in Philadelphia. Well, I was born in Philadelphia. Around that time, you had, hustlers and everything, you know what I'm saying, as soon as you walk out your front door.
Okay.
And that was the Roc-A-Fella, that was, like, that's like, around that time, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a nigga dream to be a part of Roc-A-Fella some type of way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I grew up listening to, like, shit like, excuse me, I'm outside, you know what I'm saying, smoking this shit on the porch. But, I grew up listening, like, on my separate shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, aside from all that other stuff, I started listening to stuff like Kanye and Cudi and you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like
Sir, you're killing my vibe. Where are we going? Seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, look. What I'm trying to say is,
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, Kanye is, he's a superstar. He made Roc-A-Fella seem cool to the pop culture. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, pop culture wise, yeah, he's awesome. But as far as, you know what I'm saying?
Sir, is he the greatest? That's the question, sir. Can you please get to the point? In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, please.
No, man, because that's... No.
Let's get you the fuck out of here, please. Please don't kill my vibe. Oh, what was that nigga talking about? I've been relaxed all evening. No alcohol. Is he the greatest musical artist or not? What are we doing? Anybody want to chime in? What type of ring does she deserve? Your girl, bae, wifey. You don't have to agree with me. Just say, nah, yo, Star, my girl deserves everything and then some, nigga. I'm going out here with the blicky. I'm going to risk it all to put a ring on her finger. I wouldn't say you're wrong. I wouldn't call you a simp. Some niggas need to be married. And when I say niggas, I mean, all of yous. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Maybe she's worth it. I'm not going to clown your girl. TJ got you donation. TJ said that caller is a hot dog eater. I don't know. I appreciate the call, man, but it's just too much, man, to get to the point. Come on, man. What the fuck? What type of ring does she deserve? Inspired by, again, that video. If nobody wants to chime in, I'll keep it pushing. We'll go back to the other showrunner. Let me throw this on the table as well before I finish up with that topic. Is she special? I think that's one of the main things for me today when I'm talking to girls, women. I ask myself, is this woman special? Is she unique, or is she a community bitch? Anybody know what a community bitch is? She belongs to everybody. She's on social media doing too much. She's got a bunch of male friends. I'm too conceited to be insecure. I'll keep it real with you. But if a female has a bunch of male friends, that means she's going to allow a bunch of simps and beta males into our business. That I won't do. I don't give a goddamn how good you look. I don't give a fuck if you're making six figures. I'm not going to allow you to bring simps and beta males into my world. I've said this before. We go someplace and you're posting videos and pictures and shit, and a bunch of clowns are commenting on what we're driving, where we went, and she's entertaining that shit. That type of broad, in my opinion, is not special. That's a community bitch. Any female who says she's got a bunch of male friends, yeah, well, I help my male friends. Well, are you a psychologist, bitch? Are you board certified? What do you mean you help your male friends? You see, that's a community bitch, or a bitch that's just too busy. She's doing too much. She'll bring that bullshit into your world at some point, and then you'll be like, damn, did I really tell this bitch I was going to wife her? Hang on a second, I got one more call here. Area code 209, is that Randy tapping in? 209.
Oh, God did.
What's up, Storm? How are you, man? I also want to talk to you about this other topic, Randy. Are you up to speed? A great video came out from O'Shea Duke Jackson and one of his associates, LAR Movement, Bonnets, Black Boys, and Manhood. Are you up to speed? Have you seen young black males wearing bonnets now? Come on.
Well, I'm in California, so not really. If I was more like towards the LA side or the San Diego side of Cali, I believe I'll see that regularly. You know, you see trans people on bikes in Cali.
No, these are just young males, not necessarily trans. They're just, niggas wearing bonnets now. It's a new thing, and they gave some great context. And this guy, LAR Movement, he's a father. I say that respectfully. So they were speaking from positions, LAR Movement speaking from a position of knowledge, not trans, just niggas wearing bonnets.
Oh yeah, I have my own theories and suspicions on this topic.
Please,
it's the gay gene being activated by the mammy.
Come on.
Can I elaborate?
Please.
Okay. So look, the man is no longer the head of the household. The woman is. So if the young males want to emulate a strong, like the leader of the household, they emulate their mother now. When I was in the mall the other day, I noticed a lot of flamboyant men walking around with their mothers, no father, just their mothers. And their mothers don't pay no mind to them switching their hips from side to side and being very flamboyant. They don't even check that stuff, as if the mother want their kids to be raised gay, Like, they don't want their kids to date young women, to put the young lady what they went through with their fathers, of lack of fathers. So they're opening the floodgates for the new generation of Banji boys. They're being manufactured. They're being manufactured at home now, because there's no dominant males in the household. And if they are...
Now, hang on a second, Randy. I've said all this earlier. Maybe you didn't hear the broadcast earlier. I even asked the question, are mothers, to be precise, black mothers... encouraging their sons to be more feminine, so that they won't be like their toxic, masculine fathers, always in and out of the penitentiary, just defiant, problematic. I did ask that question earlier, so now you're saying that's part of your theory?
Yes, that is correct, because when a man is more, masculine, how you just said, he is more able to think logically and to disobey, and he's more to be rebellious. As if he's feminine, he'll fall more in order. Women fall in line. That's why they're so good in position of power in the workspace. You tell a girl, do this, they won't, no questions asked. She'll try to get the task done. You ask a man to do it, especially a man with a brain on his shoulders, if it doesn't make sense, he's going to counter it. It doesn't matter if you're a superior. He's going to check you.
Right.
Just like he will in the streets, because that's our code. If it doesn't make sense, nigga, make it make sense to me so we could get this shit done. But as for a female, you have to, hey, baby pal, all these boxes on the top of your head and stand in the corner. She'll be like, okay, daddy. So that's what they're doing. They're making their sons more like them because the dad ain't listen to her, so they want the sons to listen to them.
Hang on a second. I want to put something in here. I don't know if you heard me speak about this before. Gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Mothers, sons. Damn it. I just lost my train of thought, man. It was something with mothers and fathers. Continue talking. Let me see if it'll come back to me. Damn it.
Okay, so look. The mothers rather the son emulate them because they got this backbone, they're a strong black woman, and they don't want them to be like their fathers, quote unquote, say, rebellious, violent, disobedient, unloyal. So they want them to be more like their image. You see how back in the days in the household, if the father wasn't there, your uncles will help, raise your child, and they'll help. But now she's telling him, oh, no, you don't want to be like that nigga. He's a loser. You're a pretty boy. You don't want to be out in the streets. You're a pretty boy. Look at you. You're so handsome. Oh, wear this bonnet, not that do-rag. It keeps the moisture in the hair.
Oh, okay. Hang on a second, Randy. I remember. Slow down. You're 27, yes?
26, turning 27. That is correct.
Okay. This may have been a little under 5 years ago. When I saw some little nigga up on Instagram getting pegged by his girlfriend, I said, holy shit, society is going someplace else. This little nigga had the camera, he's filming himself getting pegged by his girlfriend. She had a strap on. She's ramming the nigga, and it was no big deal to him. Pegging. You know about that, yes?
Yes, that is correct. I met a male not too long ago in his mid-30s that liked getting his butt played with when I was like 18.
No. Pegging is that's not just playing with it. From what I've learned, that's a nigga letting his girl put a strap on and ramming him and filming himself like it's nothing. Yo, it's just regular shit now. That's something else. Go ahead and finish up.
And just how you were saying, women get off on this, demasculating men nowadays. Yeah. And these are the women that are being programmed, and these are the males that are being programmed that will tell you, oh, no, you just old star. You don't know that our G-spot's in our, anal gland.
Yeah.
You need to get pegged if you want pleasure. That weirdo shit.
Randy, I'm shutting this down, man. Good to talk to you. We'll catch up soon.
Wait, can I speak on Dame real fast or the ring?
Yeah.
Either or.
Go ahead.
And then for the woman that wants the $20,000 ring, she's delusional and she doesn't know the statistic that the more expensive the ring is, the more unlikely the wedding is the marriage is to last. So bitches nowadays are delusional, and they're putting an unrealistic value on themselves. They don't have the price mark that they believe they do.
Right.
Because men now in social media will gas them up as soon as they wake up and call them beautiful and call them a queen. Not every woman is a queen. Not every man is a king. Right. Let these bitches in the gutter. Don't wife these hoes if they're not worthy of being wifed just because they're lonely.
Right.
Do the Lord's worst if you need to.
All right. Randy, I got to run, man. I got to run.
Okay. Stay up.
Stay up. All right, Randy, tapping in. Gemstar says, Star, respectfully, knock it off with the melanated nonsense. It's not gonna stick. It's black and black only. If you say so. Big Aki tapping in. Niggas wearing bonnets now? ? Is this really a black male thing? Or is this ATL thing? Speaking suspect niggas wasn't LA wearing bonnets and curls. Big Key. This story comes to me by way of O'Shea Duke Jackson. And again, LAR Movement. They gave a great breakdown, and I'm going to recommend that you guys go to O'Shea Duke Jackson's YouTube channel. He, like myself, doesn't have kids. So, I learned about this through him, through his content. Great content it is as well, all right? Big Key also says, and side note, what's good with the FBA brother, Darrix? Oh, you mean my alleged cousin? Okay, I don't know where Elvis is at because I ain't seen that. Okay. Then Big Key says, oh, yeah, and Gargles of Love wears hot pink bonnets while voguing to Robin S., Show Me Love. And I love, what is this? Rotund white woman T-shirt with knee-high Crocs on. Okay. Okay, I think we're done here. We hit the 2-hour mark. Good conversation tonight, guys. And one more cash app here. Baja got your donation. Kanye is the best artist. Dame hating because Jay ballin'. Big J tapping in. Ring and ceremonies should follow 1 year to 1 year and a half probationary periods. I like that concept. Are you saying a probationary period after the wedding? If it doesn't work out, what, the ring goes back? I'm not clear. There are people that do that, believe it or not. There's highbrow families. If it doesn't work out, the ring that has been passed down from generations to generations, it goes back to the family. People have done that, all right? Hey, guys, thank you for tapping in this evening. Please go check out my Snitch Network. That's my charity. I do work, folks. I put boots to the ground, and I will keep you posted on my upcoming road trip because it has been pushed back a couple of weeks, but I am now able to map out things a little bit more so that I can do more research when I do get on the road. But in the meantime, please go check it out, snitchnetwork.org, right? In the meantime, please check out some of my sponsors, starting with Paperwork Party Network. They bring receipts, and they are doing some great work as well, all right? You guys have a good night. I might see you tomorrow. Take care. Be safe.